Yay, we got it, y'all. Well, welcome to our first power half hour. That's hard to say when you're so used to saying power hour. So I'm so glad to see so many bright and shiny faces. And Linette, are you still there or did you kick yourself off? There she is.
Okay, sorry guys, I had to leave in order to make you the host. So then I had to
Hey, good job, because it worked.
All right, so let's get started. We're gonna do follow-ups today. Like everyone's, maybe not everyone's, maybe just mine. Something that I feel like I always push back on the back burner, like, oh, I can do that later. I can do that later. It's not something that has to be done. So I kind of always push it off, but it is something that is so effective for your business. Doing that follow up, doing that reach out, those private messages, really those are ways that you can build within your business and to really build that bond that you have with your customers, build that trust. And we all know, right? You probably have heard this 100,000 times. People buy from those that they like, know, and trust. So by doing that follow-up, reaching out to them, if they, for whatever reason, have gotten a wrong set in the mail, they might not have reached out to you.
Like the Halloween party or a Christmas party.
But when you have that option to reach out to them and you're like, hey, did everything you arrive okay? Then you're able to build that customer service rapport with them that will make them want to come back and purchase from you again. So what I'm going to do in these working power half hours is what we're going to do is we are going to work for the 30 minutes. I'm going to show you exactly how to pull up a report on your virtual office, how to print out your screen, and what you're going to do with it once you have that screen printed. All right, so I'm just going to pull my.
So Linette, do you think I need to put you as host, or is it letting you share your screen as a participant?
It's when I'm on my phone, so I don't know that I can share my screen from my phone. I was just gonna flip the camera around.
Okay, perfect.
And
that'll work
show
too.
it that way. Hi Tracy, welcome. Someone's in the chat saying hello.
Hey Tracy.
Does anyone know how to get this background off of my screen? How I have like, okay, here we go, none. Thank God. I did not do that on purpose, so I have no idea how that happened. It just goes to show you that you can work this business without being super tech savvy. So, all right. You thought I was on another vacation. Nope, here right in good old Buffalo, New York. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna flip around my screen so that I can show you my computer and show you where we're gonna go from here. All right, so I'm gonna go into my virtual office. You guys all know, you guys all know this, you see? Okay, here, perfect. All right, so you're gonna go under where it says orders and contacts. You're gonna scroll down to where it says customer orders. Up here at the top, it says download Excel report. Did you know that you could go back from all the way when you first started and print up every single person that ordered from you? You could pull it up into a spreadsheet, sort it by name, and you can find out like who's ordered the most from you. Look at those potential stylists. You've ordered 5 times in the last 6 months. That's another training. But what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go back to September, and I need to do all my follow-ups for September. So I'm gonna go from September 1st through September 30th, right here at the top, and I'm gonna hit download. What happens then is down here at the bottom of my screen, a little thing pops up, and I click that, and it takes me to this Excel spreadsheet, which tells me exactly all of my customers that ordered. It lists their name, the date they ordered, how much they spent, their email address, all that fun stuff. So what I do is then I just do like Control P, and I print this list out. And then I work from, I'm like a paper and pen sort of person. So I list, I have my paper and I go through it and I'm like, okay, so Jane Smith is my first one. She ordered on September 1st. All right, I am going to follow up with her. I'm going to send her a Facebook message. I put with my pen a little check mark next to Jane Smith's name. Then after Jane replies back to me and I see that she has like seen the message from me and we've corresponded, I highlight her like, okay, she has officially been followed up on. A lot of times, especially if you're doing things in parties and people haven't accepted your friend requests, you won't have them go and respond to you. They might not even ever see your message. So I'll put that check mark, but then like the next time I do follow-ups, I'll look and be like, okay, I got a check mark from them, but they never replied to me. So what then I then do is go move over to their email, which is like listed over here on the paper. And I will then email them and saying like, hey, did you like your sets? How did you like Tokyo Lights? Yada, yada. And it is great to mention the sets that they ordered, like I just mentioned. When you go into your customer orders, I'm gonna flip it around one more time. You can see if you type in like the name. So say I'm following up with Sandy. I'm just picking in a random name. I type in Sandy. I toggled this over to where it said customer name. And I typed in Sandy here. And now it's going to pull up Sandy who ordered. And I can see all the sets that she ordered. And I will be able to follow up with her and pick out and say, hey, I saw you ordered Kilowatt. That's going to be amazing for Halloween. Have you worn it yet, or are you saving it for your Halloween day? You know, and we can just kind of have a little bit more personal conversation. All right, so does anyone have any questions on where they find the list to go on to do your follow-ups? Any questions? You can talk. This is going to be a working session. So if during your follow-ups, if you have any questions on where to find any of this stuff, if you have any questions on the wording that you want to do for the follow-up, like speak now or forever hold your peace, you do not need to be muted. But we are going to work now. So I printed mine. I'm going to go pick it up from the printer and I am going to get started right along with you.
Linette, I have something I want to ask. Now, I know because we're friends that we're like traveling the world in September. So is that why you're doing all of your like September now? Like thinking about doing a whole month freaks me out. Yes, it's easy to fall behind, but do you typically recommend working in smaller chunks?
Absolutely. So typically I follow up every Friday. But September was a bit crazy for me, and I didn't know if any of you guys would also be behind on your follow-ups. So I thought, why not start with a whole month and work your way through what you can get done. But yes, I definitely, my whole goal is always to follow up on Friday. I don't know if any of you are, I think all of us actually are in the lineage of Brittany Mackey, but she's always like posting about follow-up Friday. Do you know why she does follow-ups on Friday? Because people get paid on Thursdays and Fridays. So that's why she does follow-ups on Fridays, because people start tightening their purse strings before payday, but after payday, that's when that lipstick might look adorable, or a $12 nail polish might be easier to buy at that point, versus the day before payday when people tighten those purse strings.
Find new something. Find new roads. Chevrolet.
So I got my list here. You're right, it is very long and overwhelming, but in my opinion, if you just start checking boxes off, it goes quickly. All right, so Alicia says, I always ask my boss for things on Friday at 2:50 p.m. That's a good one. All right. So let's get started, all right? Print out your thing, or you can even just pull it up and work with it on your Excel computer if you don't have access to a printer. And then head into your Facebook messengers to start your follow-ups.
You are this business, and this business is you, my baby. Right, your baby, right? We would just corrupt it. You're doing it exactly the way you want it to. Every now and then, somebody just gets it right and gets a business that fits them perfectly. I don't want to kill your vibe. I'm out.
Thank you for showing this because I actually had tried to do this before and I didn't get everybody.
Honest and sincere.
Oh, good.
And I think now everybody's showing up and I downloaded them.
Full of joy.
Good.
Yeah. You are purity.
All right. So I'm gonna try and do this. I can show my screen. but I'm-
Kickstarter is not a business. You gotta go back. You gotta go out and build a business. Yeah. I can't invest in it. I know. I appreciate that.
All right. So I'm following up with my friend Erin, who ordered. Let's see, what date did she order on?
And I see merit to what you have.
Oh, she ordered on the 30th. Actually, I should probably start at the other end.
Like you have the premise of a really good idea, but I'm not sure business is going on.
So here's what I think, you're in 3 different categories, and they're totally different. And you're gonna need to learn each one of those businesses. So that's a little concerning, but you can make those decisions when you don't have a partner. right?
When you're following up, do you use the Color Street VO then when you're following up, or do you use just your regular email?
I mean, that's what people say.
When I do email, I just use my regular email. I go off what's on the sheet, the email address that's on the sheet, and I just type it in through my regular email. When I send out monthly emails, I actually try to do a bi-monthly email. When I send that out to my customers and I'm sending it to everyone, I send it out through the virtual office. But when I'm doing like an individual follow-up, I just do it from my regular email. I think it's easier for me because their email address is already, I guess, in the virtual office. I don't know why I do it that way. I think maybe it's just a matter of personal preference.
Okay.
But Tracy,
Yeah.
I've never, so I've been doing this 3 years and I've never followed up an email. I told Linette that yesterday, so I think it's good to hear that. Like it didn't really cross my mind. I know it's crazy. Like I've always just done it in Messenger or text, or like I loop back to them about something else. Like sometimes I'll respond to a Facebook story and then like once they've replied, I know they've seen the message above. So the other benefit, from my understanding at least, if you have a relationship with them on Facebook, you can connect with them on Facebook. Facebook also likes that in terms of it will probably help them see your content.
Yeah, the logarithm, it will help.
Yeah.
Doing
Yeah.
it
So
that way.
I always do, and I think Linette, that's what you said. You do your like Facebook is kind of your first, especially if that's where you met them, or like if you met them on Instagram, you would probably DM them on Instagram and then kind of go to email as a backup, right?
Absolutely. I want to continue that conversation on Facebook because I want them to see what's going on in my VIP page. I want them to see the posts on my personal wall. I want them to see all that. So that's why Facebook Messenger is my preferred method of follow-up. However, I don't want them to think because like I sent them a message on Facebook Messenger and they never saw it because they didn't accept my friend request from a party that they, that I didn't do the follow-up, that I'm not providing good customer service. So I'll use that email as my secondary. Especially, I like to use the email for those, I don't know if any of you have gotten that, but like those random orders that don't come from a party or but maybe like live around the block from you or something like that. Those are great ones to use email for because you might not even be finding that right person on Facebook at that point. So I really like to do email for that.
Yeah, Linette, I really liked your tip of checking it off that you sent the message and then like highlighting it kind of when you get a response, because I use the email as like a backup. I do exactly what you're saying. Like I'll follow up with them where I know them from. And if I'm not getting a response, that's when I hit the email and see if I can get a response that way.
Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to follow up with this lady here. She ordered the tinted lip balm based on my recommendation and Watch Your Web. Okay. So I'm going to go talk to her now in my Facebook Messenger about her So I'm just gonna look her up, and then I'm gonna ask her if she's tried the lip balm yet, how she's liking it. Right, so it's been a little bit since she ordered. So typically if it was like she just ordered like 2 weeks ago, I would say something like, just checking in to make sure your order arrived, but she ordered on the 1st of September. So she definitely should have gotten it. So I'm gonna say, instead of saying like, just checking to see if you got it, I'm gonna say, I see that your order arrived. What do you think of the lip? Just something quick and sweet. I am not the person who's going to be like in my first message when I'm following up to ask her a party. That's just not me. But you know, when she replies back that she loves the lip balm, maybe I'll be like, do you want to have a party so that we can share these new lip products with all of your friends? That might be something how I like turn it from a follow-up into like a party ask. Just giving you right ideas. When do you guys typically do your follow-ups? Does anyone have a different plan or method?
I try to stick with the 2x2x2, like couple days, 2 days after they order. You know, just say, you know, thanks so much for your order. It normally looks like a VIP shout out, but acknowledge it in some way within those 2 days. And then 2 weeks checking in, within 2 weeks checking in to make sure they got it. And then 2 months and continuing to check up every 2 months after that.
So I'm really terrible at follow-up and I've been making it a point to be much better. And so now I'm doing an immediate message after they place their order just to say thank you. And then still doing like my VIP post. And then when the VO reminds me that I should reach out, that's when I ask them, or like I look like, oh, I saw you got your sets, like, was your order correct? And then I follow like the 2x, like, and then, you know, follow up again, because I'm like you, Linette, I will not ask for a party on my first follow up unless it's somebody that I feel like really wants to host one, but I feel like I need to build that connection before I'm actually asking. So I feel like that gives me plenty of opportunity to have like multiple conversations.
Absolutely.
I know I fall into the trap of just doing Facebook Messenger. So I think looking at this is going to be a little bit different.
Looking at what?
Actually like looking at past orders and stuff, because I typically focus on Facebook so much that I'm like, I need to get out of that. because I mean, there's all these other potentials out here that you're not following up with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're like marketing yourself on Instagram. I've gotten a lot of orders recently from that, and that's where I try personally just to follow up on the platform wherever that I know them from. So if I am you know, friends with them on Facebook and they were in a Facebook party, then I'll follow them up on Facebook. But if they're following me on Instagram and they order through like Instagram, then I'll follow up in a DM on Instagram. And then again, my third and final way to follow up is that email. And sometimes people still don't answer you an email, but at least you did like your customer service and they know like a way to get a hold of you. So if something was wrong with their order, or if like they're struggling with the sets, and if I'm going to that last resort with an email, I also include a like video on how to apply. So I'll send the email and I'll be like, hey, just checking in to make sure you received your order okay, you know, something like that. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Here's a quick how-to video to see how to apply the nails. So that way, at least I like did my due diligence, because typically with a brand new person who I'm following up with, if they've never ordered from me before and this is their first time, I send the message to be like, hey, just checking to see if you got your stuff. You know, I'm usually about 2 weeks in. It makes it enough time for the mail to like get there. And then I'll be like, oh, here's a quick how-to video on how to apply. And then, you know, depending on if they're new to Color Street or not, I tell them how to like reseal it, things like that. So that's how I base like my follow-ups.
One of the easiest things to get really, really wrong.
So I did quite a few of my follow-ups at the end of last week, so I'm like pretty caught up on them. But what I was just doing today was like scrolling through on my Color Street Instagram people's posts, and one of my brand new customers was like stirring a soup with her nails showing, and I was like, your nails look great and the soup looks great, like just following up on like how you like everything. So I try to tie it into something else too. Like I don't want it to be all Color Street, and that's something that I struggle with, especially with like new people from parties. So I'm really trying to find ways to like reconnect with people on things that aren't just Color Street, because I don't want to be like just the Color Street person, but like a person. So I try to keep that in mind as well. But like little things like that are fun. Like especially if people are like showing off their nails, I think that's really nice. So and that just happened today. So I was thinking about that.
Yeah, no, that's great. I want my personal favorite way to follow up with customers, especially is if they post stories, is to comment on their stories, because that goes right into a personal message or a direct message, depending on what platform you're on. But so you can comment on their story and it goes right into their direct message. And then, you know, Facebook sees that, they see that they're connected, they're going to see more of your stuff as well. So, and then it's about nothing about Color Street, right? They posted a cute picture of their dog, they posted that they're on vacation. I'm asking like, what kind of dog is that? Like, and I tried to ask open-ended questions so that people are going to be replying back. But if I like, for instance, if you're a friend with the soup, I would have been like, oh my God, I love your nails and that soup looks delicious. What kind of soup is that? You know, and like, maybe can you share the recipe with me? I like to engage them for something that they're going to like reply back to.
Yeah, that's great. The open-ended questions is really, really good, because it just keeps the conversation flowing. Absolutely.
So stop rest. The this mixture of orange juice and stars. I'm taking the dark rest.
All right, so this friend of mine here, I'm just going to show you this really quick. She's actually having a party next week. She booked off of Tanya's fundraiser party. If you guys haven't had any fundraiser parties, you really, like, I highly recommend it. I know like donating the commission can be like a little bit hard, but this party was $1,000 party for childhood cancer in September. So definitely, like, if you know someone who's connected to one of the charities that Color Street is already sponsoring, or, you know, already like having the set to go along with, I highly recommend reaching out to them to see if they want to do a fundraiser party. Now, we already know what all of our foundation sets are. So I reached out to her well before the month started, and I was like, we're going to keep it open for the entire month, blah, blah, blah. And so I ended up donating $300 to the Putt Foundation. But my point is that this girl booked a party off of that party, which is not a fundraiser party. So then I will be able to get commissions off of her. She's a longtime customer who really should be a stylist. But so this time I just kind of like, I don't know if you can see that really well. So I was like, okay, so I think all of your orders from Tanya's fundraiser party arrived. You know me, I just like to check in and make sure everything arrived okay. Let me know. So that was like a little bit more casual, like, hey, you know me, I just like to check in. I've already talked to her recently this week about her party that's starting next week. But I just want to make sure that she knows that if anything was wrong with her order, she can reach out to me. So again, it's just like good. I'm trying, and my goal with these follow-ups, obviously building a connection, building trust, but also just making sure that when people know that they order from me, that they're going to get me, and I'm going to have like good customer service. And it's like, if there's ever a problem when they order in the future, they know that I'm approachable and someone that they can come to, and I will fix the problem. Someone talking to me?
I think it might have been background noise.
Okay, I was like, I'm hearing something, but I'm not quite sure.
I'm not even sure if my phone's working.
Well, we hear
I can
you.
hear you.
Okay.
Hey, Lynette.
Yes.
Lynette. Somebody said in chat, I don't know, because it just says iPhone, more info and tips about fundraiser parties.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see that in the chat. I'm doing my
No, you're
follow-ups
good.
here, guys.
I have it on full screen because otherwise I can never remember to go back and check the chat.
So I personally, for this fundraiser party, what I did was I reached out to her like the month before, I think early August. I was like, hey, you know how I love, in my VIP, I really like do up the foundation sets. I think it's just so great that we work for a company that gives back like this. So I always like make sure like I kind of make it a big deal. I'm posting about it in my stories, things like that. So my people know that that's what I do. So I reached out to her. I was like, hey, you know about the foundation sets? Guess what? There is one coming up for pediatric cancer awareness. And I know that her daughter currently has leukemia and has been going through this. And she is like a big supporter of like all sorts of cancer things on her personal page. Like this is like her thing. So I was like, what do you say we do like a fundraiser party? I'm going to donate 25% of my commissions. So I always max out the commissions. So I'm still making some money off the party, right? So I'm making that 10%, but 25% of the party profits, I said that I would donate and to any charity that they chose. So her and her daughter picked the Punt Foundation, which is actually like a local foundation for pediatric cancer here in Buffalo. And I ran it for a week long. So I started it on the first, when on Tuesday when the cancer sets came out, I really like did that up. I ran it for an entire week after that. And then I kept the link open for the entire month. There are a couple days throughout the month that were like highlighted with pediatric cancer awareness. I think like the 15th was like pediatric cancer awareness day. So I like posted on that day. Anytime new sets came out throughout the month, I posted it in the party. You know, like when the Halloween sets came out, I posted it in there. When the lip collection, I think also came out that month, like I posted it in the party. Different things like that. When it happened, I posted in there, but I didn't post daily in there. I ran a party just like I normally would for 1 week. And then I told her like, and everyone in the party that I'm going to keep it open till the 30th for the entire month. So you guys can order on any upcoming collections. And like Heather here, she ordered multiple times. Several people ordered multiple times, but the party was $1,000. I booked 3 parties off of it. And I said that anyone who booked a party, I would donate an additional $20 to the Punt Foundation. And that was just because that was something that I wanted to do. I also like the Punt Foundation. You know, normally I give the hostess a free set when they book a party. I didn't do that this time. Instead, I donated $20 to the Punt Foundation. So I ended up donating $310. I think it's actually 313 was like the total that it came to for the fundraiser, because it reached like $1,000, I think $3 or $1,006. And then I booked 3 parties. So, but I also did like another one that was not as successful, but still successful for a pediatric fundraiser. But I mean, just if I was to start over again now, and I would look at like, okay, what is the foundation set for November? Okay, it's like, is it veterans, right? I would like look to my Facebook friends and see, okay, who is like really big into like veterans, who's really big into like all these different things. And then I would reach out to them to talk about doing a fundraiser party. And, you know, if you have someone, you know, who is doing something for like raising money for like their kids' sports, you could even reach out to them and be like, I'm willing to donate. She's asking, another person's asking a question. Specifically, have you ever done any school club fundraisers banned? I personally have not, but it would be the same concept. You're going to donate 25% of, or 20. I mean, you can pick your dollar amount too. You know, you don't have to do 25%. That's just what I chose because this is your business and you get to run it your own way.
Lynette,
yeah,
I don't mean to interrupt you, but we have like about 1 minute before before we are kicked off of Zoom. So.
All right, well, thank you guys so much. Maybe I will do a post and share it with all the leaders on what I do for fundraiser parties so that they can all share it in their groups. But if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your leader about follow-ups. But thank you for doing this working session with us.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Lynette. This was great.
Thanks for all the tips, Lynette.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye,
Night,
guys.
night.
Night.